Back at the South Campus for another episode of Faculty Spotlight. I'm joined by Lissa Liveson. She's an associate professor in the medical assistant program. Hi, Lissa. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm doing well.
You kind of corrected me because I had initially said nursing, and I think that's a good opportunity to talk about the difference, because we hear about the nursing program at Laredo College, but it's the nursing and allied health, correct?
That's correct. Yes, that's correct. We're here at the South Campus, and we do have a nursing program, and they take up the whole second floor. And we have other allied health programs that a lot of our students don't know about. And so we have our sonography program, we have our medical assistant program, we have our ultrasound program, which is fairly new, and we have the EMT department as well. So we have all of
those are under the allied health.
Correct.
And it's important to point that out, because you just hear nursing, but what if somebody doesn't want to do nursing, but they want to do something in the field of medicine?
Absolutely.
All of these fall under that umbrella, right?
Absolutely. And actually, we also have physical therapy, I forgot to mention.
Okay.
And we used to have occupational therapy as well, which is where I started, because I'm an occupational therapist. And so, yes, it's a wonderful thing where, yes, nursing is wonderful and it's greatly needed, but it's also very highly competitive.
Yeah.
And a lot of our students do want to be in the medical field, and they just don't know where to start, right? And so a lot of times they may start with the medical assistant program, and then they work their way up to nursing if they want to. But the need is there. The need is there in our community. So there's plenty of jobs out there, and they're really, really good paying jobs as well. So
and that's the goal, is to get them out into the workforce with a living wage, not to send them out making minimum wage. What is a medical assistant?
Okay, so I always tell my students it's kind of like you're assisting the medical profession there, right? So you're either the therapist, or you're helping out the dentist or the physician. Basically, they're jack of all trades. They have to do everything. So medical assistants assist everyone, and so they can be front office, they can be back office, meaning they're the ones that you usually see right when they're the first ones that greet you when you walk into the office. They're the ones scheduling, they're the ones giving vaccines, they're the ones taking your blood pressure, all your vitals, and they're also in there again helping. Do we need more inventory? What do we need to do? So they really run, it's such an important job. It really, truly is. And so that's what we try to instill in our students, that we're looking for students that are go-getters, they take initiative, that they're friendly, that they're outgoing, and that they want to help, and they have empathy for the patients. Because when we see our patients, they're typically not wanting to be there.
Yeah, most of the time I don't want to go to the doctor.
Right, and you're not feeling well, and you may be grumpy, or someone might, it's just something that we want to make sure that we instill those soft skills in our students, that they come in wanting to be in the field, and not just because it's something that my mom made me come to apply to be a nurse.
Is that something you could teach?
That's a very good question. So I teach a lot of courses. So I teach a lot of the ancillary, the anatomy and physiology, medical term. And that's what I try to talk to the students a lot of times. And I mention that to them, that it's something that they should already have. We can kind of help them enhance those skills, but it's important. Like when I had my own business for almost a decade. It was a pediatric therapy office, and so when I would interview my employees, it was more, I wasn't asking their GPA. I would say, I was looking at the one that was there on time. I was the one who takes initiative, who can problem solve. And so that's what I tell my students. I'm like, it's okay if you're not getting those high A's. Yes, we want them to achieve, and get good GPAs, but really, we have to look at the student holistically, and that's what I want them to understand, that the patient will feel it. If you're not there for the right reasons, they're gonna know, right? And so that's what I feel. I feel that's part of my job, to help the community, also because our customer service, we want to make sure that the patients feel welcomed, and it's not just that we're having skilled individuals working with them, but kind and empathetic patient workers, with the patients.
So medical assistant, in a lot of ways, sometimes is the front line
Absolutely.
of what happens in an office or in a particular setting. So it's important to have that proper attitude.
Absolutely.
Let's go back a little bit. And I've been intrigued by the faculty from the nursing and allied health, because this isn't like the typical faculty.
Right.
You didn't go into teaching
You're right.
specifically, so
Right.
it intrigues me. How did you come here to this point? I know you mentioned you had a business, but tell me a little
Yes.
bit about yourself.
So I went. I'm born and raised here in Laredo,
Okay.
and I graduated from
Thanks for
Alexander.
staying.
Yes, yes. Well, I came back. So I was at Alexander Magnet, and one of my professors actually there in high school was an OT. She was an occupational therapist, and so I was very fortunate enough to know what I wanted to do in high school, and so I came to LC, and of course I graduated from here with my associates, and then I went off to San Antonio. I went to grad school for OT school. I graduated 24, came back to Laredo, and started my occupational therapy career, which has been 20 years now. So I had my own clinic, and I was always a clinical instructor. I always wanted to engage with students. I always wanted to make sure I feel strongly about training the next generation and making sure that they have those skills, because at some point, we're going to retire and we have to make sure that they're set. And so the program director at the time here, she was a friend of mine, and she just invited me. She's like, hey, we need someone to help teach. And so I said, let me give it a try. And so I did, and I fell in love with it. And so I've been here since 2017 now.
Okay.
And so I think my background as an OT and occupational therapy, again, a lot of people don't know what occupational therapy is, and it's basically, it's rehabilitation, right? It's a lot like physical therapy and speech therapy. But we're helping the patient live as independent as possible. And so for my clinic, I saw a lot of kiddos with autism, a lot of kiddos with ADHD or Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, different things. And so now I can really, I had to break down activities for my patients, and I'm able to do that with my students. I can see I have a lot of students now with ADHD. I have a lot of students even with autism, and I love that they're coming to college, and that we're able to help them. There's a lot of resources here at the college that we're able to do accommodations for them if they need extra time to take a test or anything, or quiet room or quiet space. We're able to do that. So we have a lot to give to our community. So I've loved it, and that's why I'm here. I feel that my background has really helped me just understand it from their point of view.
Sure. Are you able to still run the business and do this at the same time?
I closed the business when I started working here, because then I started having my own kiddos, and so it's like I needed to
pick one or the other. Well, I'm glad you picked LC.
Yes, I honestly have loved it. I honestly, I didn't know I wanted to teach. I thought, I'm going to be an OT, but I realized I can do both, and I really fell in love with it. So I love, when the students understand it and get that aha moment, and it's really rewarding, and knowing that yes, this is the direction that our future generation is going in. And so, and then I see them around, I see them in nursing, and
Nice.
And I see them again, and so they're proud. They're like, I made it to the program, so it's really, really a nice feeling.
Initially, what was your first impression of coming to teach? What were you scared? What were you thinking?
I didn't know what to expect. I knew I'm an alumni, so I knew Laredo College is a wonderful college. I just didn't know what to expect. And once I started here, I realized we have really good students. Like they're very well rounded. Again, we have a lot of students that are coming back, right? So I have a lot of moms. I have a lot of people that are working, and so it's really nice to see that everyone really tries to work with one another, and that's my want for my students. I want them to feel comfortable in my class enough to feel that they can ask those questions, or I know how hard it can be, so it's been really nice. I honestly thought it would be very intimidating, and oh my goodness, it's going to be overwhelming. No, it's been really nice. The faculty is super nice. The students, it's a very, like here at the South Campus, it's very chill. It's very calm. You have access to everything. Our library, we have it all here. So we have a lot to give to our students.
You kind of touched on it, but what do you attribute the success of the whole nursing and allied health to?
Well, to be honest, we have really, really good professors, and we are very, honestly, and I'm not just saying this because I'm part of faculty, but I really feel the people that are here teaching really want to be here. They're not here for other reasons. Like everyone is really here about the student. It's student focused, and we're here for them. And I think that is why we're seeing the success that we're seeing with our students, because they have the motivation. We have the knowledge that they need to know, and then they're getting wonderful experience with their clinicals. So it's a group effort, so we have Gateway helping us, we have the city of Laredo helping us, so we get to have our students go to these clinical sites and really experience it rather than just, I mean, you can hear information, but when you actually get to apply it, it makes a difference.
Sure.
So,
did you leave room for, okay, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to go back to this, or did you?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. I'm still an OT. I will still forever be an OT. And so I'll still pick up some work here and there, but my kiddos are growing right now. And so the focus is here at work, and then I get to go home. But yes, absolutely. I will definitely go back to that, in the future. Yes.
At some point.
At some
But
point.
at the time when you first made the switch, were you a little
Yes,
skeptical? I mean, how did you approach it?
So at the beginning, actually, I was still working just, after work, I would just do weekends because I didn't want to leave it necessarily. It was really hard to leave my patients. But knowing that, I had to make a decision, but it will always be, I'm always going to be an OT. So yeah, that's going to be something that I can always pick up. There's always that need. And so the wonderful thing about a lot of our programs here at the Allied Health is that with one degree, you can work in multiple different areas. And so I can do home health, I can do hospital settings, I can do schools, I can do many places with that one degree. And so that's what I try to tell the students too. You may want to work with elders, you may want to work in the pediatric field, but you just need that one degree and you can, pick and choose if you want that 9 to 5 or no, you know what, I want to do home health so I can, schedule my agenda.
What's changed from when you first got here to now?
A lot has changed. So, I originally started at the main campus, and so we got this new building, brand new equipment. So it's a beautiful building. We have access to everything we need. We have these, programs upstairs and all around the campus where it's, we don't have physical cadavers, right? But we have these computers that are cadavers. And so a lot of our students get to kind of really learn hands-on. So the equipment has improved a lot. So the access, what the students get is a lot, so that's what's improved. I think we've all I think COVID, changed a lot of things too. And so during COVID, again, we were online, and now coming back, I think there's just a more appreciation of having our students in class with us. And so I think that's what's changed too. I think the students are really eager to come back. They didn't really, some of them enjoyed the online, but a lot of them told us, we want to go to class. We want hands-on. We want our lab activities. And so you see it. They come to class. They're here. They're participating. And that's what we want. We want to make sure that they learn that teamwork, that communication. Because when they first start off, I'm like, oh, you can talk to your coworker. I mean, to your colleague, right? You could perform this assignment together, and everyone's quiet, and no one wants to talk. And then eventually, they open up, and that's what we've heard from, the clinical professionals out there. They're like, we need individuals that not just have the degree, but they know how to engage with others, especially in the healthcare field. Like, you have to be comfortable speaking with people in order for your patient to feel comfortable to tell you, what's happening to them. So,
and I seem to think, and I say this a lot, but it seems like every generation gets more and more used to limited communication because they're used to screens that show them 15 seconds at a time. And so it's got to be difficult as a teacher to tell them, hey, look, you can't be like that in real life when you want to do this.
It's so funny that you said that, because I have to tell them here, I'm like, this is not TV, you guys. Like, I'm here. I can see you. I can see if you're just on your phone. I can see if you're paying attention. Like, I'm live, And so I've had to alter my teaching as well. So I'm like, I can't show them these long videos. It's not gonna, no one wants to see that anymore. And so I'm using a lot of just very quick, yes, I use some TikTok, but science-based, information, but a lot of hands-on. Nobody wants to sit there. That attention span isn't there, and they don't have. And so I get them into groups and say, okay, you're going to come up here, and they enjoy it. They didn't realize, and a lot of them don't come with a lot of studying habits. And so they don't know to just write notes and just sit here. And so that's what I love about community colleges. You're not going to get that at a 4-year. That you're expected to know all this. So here it's still, there's small class sizes. The most I have in my classes are 30 students at a time. So I know all their names. I get to know them personally. I know who's not here. I know who I need to help more. So that's, I think, a wonderful thing that we can
Yep.
offer our students.
And do you see the students receptive to that help? Do you see them coming to you when they need assistance?
I do. I offer tutoring for them, particularly on Fridays, but anytime that they need it, I'll stay later or anything like that. And they come. They'll come even if it's cold and there's, a storm coming. They're still like, are you able to meet us at 9? Yes, sure. They come and they're prepared and they ask questions. So they've been very receptive. So
I'm sure they love that one-on-one attention
Yes.
or small
Yes.
group attention.
Yes.
Medical assistant is an associate's degree or
So-
is it a certificate?
Yeah, so actually we have both.
Okay.
So we have a 1-year certificate, so they're getting, and they still get their clinical experience. So starting with the first semester, they're already going to their clinical sites. So we teach them basically front office the first semester and back office, the second semester, drawing blood, things like that. And so then they can finish with their certificate. But we also offer the associates, and so that's our 2-year program. And so, they learn more about pharmacology and just a little bit more pathophysiology, conditions, and things like that. So, and the nice thing is that a lot of our students that are graduate their associates, then it's a lot easier for them to finish with their bachelor's or apply for other programs
Sure.
as well to continue to.
Do you see that desire to continue in a lot of the students? Yeah.
I do. I really do. Obviously, there are some, and that's why it's nice to offer both, because there are
Yeah.
some people that, I need to work. I have
Oh, yeah.
kiddos. I need to work. I can't, But then there's some that are just starting off their career and they really do want to continue. So it's nice to have that option of both plans.
If someone were considering coming to Laredo College for nursing or allied health, what would you say?
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. You're going to love it. It's a great experience. You have a lot of resources. We really want our students to succeed. Like, I really do want to see my students in the future. I want them, if I ever come across them, I want them to say, hey, that's Miss Liveson, and not be like, oh no, there she comes, So I think that it's going to be a very, very, it's a close environment. You're going to get a lot of hands-on practice in the clinical sites, in the classroom, and so do it. It's honestly so much better than, yes, I do believe that we should all leave Laredo at some point
Yeah, of course.
for
No, I
an
get you.
experience, just to venture out just a little bit, but come back, and honestly, if you want to start up here, it's a great place to, again, and you're not racking up these huge loans,
That's
right?
for sure. It's very affordable.
It is very affordable. And so in 2 years, that time is going to pass regardless. So those 2 years, just get it done, get in, get practice. You start to network, you start to see what the office setting is like. And you can say, you know what, we have some students that actually went to a PA program. So they want to become, it's an environment that fosters learning and growth. And so I highly encourage it to.
Yeah, and the going out of town and then coming back, I reference that because having been through COVID and having covered COVID and you talk about the medically underserved community, I love to see medical professionals that did go out of town but then came back.
Yes.
And we're not part of that brain drain, as they call it.
Right.
So definitely, if you want to go out of town, but if you want to come back, that'd be
Yes.
great too, especially in the health field. What's your life like outside of college? What do you do in your personal time?
So I'm married, and I have 2 beautiful babies.
Babies?
They're not babies
Okay,
anymore.
they're always babies, so.
They're still young. So my son is in 5th.
Okay.
He just turned 11, and my daughter is in 6th. So they're 11 months apart. So she just turned 12, and she's in middle school, and they're growing and growing.
So that pretty much occupies your life?
Absolutely,
Outside,
because
you don't
they're
need to-
in sports,
Yeah.
and so I'm just their taxi driver at this point.
And when you get some me time, what do you like to do?
Um,
Do you get me time?
I don't get too much. I'm starting to get a little bit more because they're wanting to be with their friends more. I finally get to hang out with my husband again,
There you go.
and we're just watching some shows, or we'd love to take him to the park. We have a park down the road, and we just like to we're very, very close, my family.
Yeah, that's
We go to the
nice.
ranch. We have a little ranch in the hill country, and we just go and relax, and,
What kind of shows are you watching?
So we're watching this.
ahead.
We're watching that Narcos show, Narcos
okay.
Mexico.
I love it. On Netflix?
Yes, on
Oh, yeah,
Netflix.
those are
Yes.
awesome.
And then the 1923. My husband.
I have not
loves
watched that
those,
one,
the
the
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
Yeah. He
Very
loves
cool.
those, and so I don't care. I never, get to watch TV. So I'm like, whatever it is, just as long as it's some quiet time. That's all.
Favorite
So,
movie?
My favorite is still Pretty in Pink from the 80s.
Hey, that's,
Well, we just went to go see Nova King this past weekend, and that was really funny.
Really?
Yes.
What is that?
So it's about a guy that doesn't have, that he was born with medical condition, and he doesn't feel pain. And so it's a kind of comedy.
Interesting.
It's kind of gory, but it's very funny.
It's in theaters? You saw it at the theater?
Yeah, at Alamo.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Favorite music?
I like alternative rock. I do.
Which would be?
So, like, I love Breaking Benjamin and Blue October, and so
Very cool.
a little older.
Nice little life outside of Laredo College.
Yes. I mean, I think, again, it has to be balanced, right? We have to balance work and play and sleep, and so it has to. We have to, and that's why I tell my students, I'm like, I'm not going to bombard you with 1,000 assignments because I know you have a life outside of school, and I'm not there contemplating like, what else can I give you? It's more of things that will prepare you for.
I'm finding out that most of these students don't have a life outside of school. They're really dedicated to what they're doing, and it's very impressive. But because I'll ask, the same question: what do you do when you're not? Well, no, I'm always studying. I'm like, okay. Especially the nursing students and everybody in this neck of the woods. So that's great because we want them to. Right?
Absolutely. We had a lot of students during COVID. Actually, when we finally opened up again, they were traveling from Nuevo Laredo, and they would get here. They would have to get buses like at 4 a.m. just to make it to class on time. They were very, very dedicated, and so we do see that a lot. Like they're focused. Like they're here. I have some students that are coming from. I have a student from Egypt. I've had students from different places, and they're like, "No, this is our opportunity. We have to take advantage of this." And so we're here for school, and that's what we're doing. So.
I think their dedication is a reflection of the instructors and everyone here on campus, and of course you're part of that. I love that when I asked you about me time, you said my me time is with my family, and that's beautiful. So Lissa, thanks for all that you do, and keep up the excellent work, and congratulations. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for doing this.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.